Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for waking up with us. I'm Ashley.bornancin in for Mackenzie Keyline. It is feeling nice and breezy out there. Perfect temperatures. Greenbelt apartment residents say they are fed up with the building falling apart. They say they have mold, roaches, and bed bugs. Sasha, good morning. Experts are now calling it the worst oil spill in California history. Picture this. You're outside in line for a football game at the high school, and someone that's not even from your area comes up to the ticket booth, grabs the money, heads to the parking lot, and takes off. Well, thanks to increased security that's coming to the entire Oregon City School District, they're making sure nothing like this ever happens again. And you can almost smell and see and hear the sounds of the ballpark right here. And let me tell you, from being here all morning long, there is not a bad seat in the house. I noticed right away, and I'm sure you did too, Ohio State average jumped by 22 cents. We're learning the key to thriving right now in the floral business is about adapting, and that all starts with the recipe. Now, when you think recipe, you probably think chicken noodle soup, chocolate cake. Well, not here. Right now, according to the CDC, 54.9% of Americans are fully vaccinated, but only 2% of people in low-income countries have received at least one dose. She was on a cross-country road trip in a van with her fiance, who is now considered a person of interest in her disappearance.
We are taking things to a whole new level, celebrating Cinco de Mayo with the ultimate Mexican ballet folkloric dance group. She said so much of it starts with the costume. Take me through these beautiful dresses.
Happy Thanksgiving. If you're just waking up, there's a little bit of rain right now, but is it here to stay? Let's get a check of your forecast with meteorologist Ross Ellett. Ross?
It has been an exciting morning here in Toledo as friends and family celebrate O'Shea Jones as she wins her first boxing match, making history.
That's right, the women's football team. Yes, we do have a women's football team. They're called the Toledo Troopers. They're heading to the big screen. And Team Europe continues to hold its lead at the Solheim Cup, but the Americans are looking to mount a comeback.
Well, James, police are still on the scene here after this overnight shooting in central Toledo, but BGSU's Dr. Ha tells me this divisive culture is built over time. And in order to make real change, we need to start by educating our youth at a young age.
First-time unemployment claims fell last week to their lowest level since 1969.
With Collins law going into effect today, hazing will now be considered a felony here in Ohio. You can't tell now because you see our camera light, but if you were to turn off this light, which we're gonna do, you're gonna see just how dark it is, and that's what makes these conditions so very dangerous.
Now, speaking of Thanksgiving food, have you ever noticed the label on Ocean Spray cranberry sauce cans are actually upside down? Well, there's a reason why. When it comes to sushi, presentation is just as important as quality. On this week's Dine in the 419, we take you to Kotobuki. Tomorrow's the big showdown. It's the rivalry you hear about 365 days of the year. Oh ho ho, you know what I'm talking about. University of Michigan Wolverines take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. The countdown to Black Friday is on. New numbers show consumer spending up about 1.3% in October, according to the Commerce Department. The Justice Department declared it will not tolerate violence against anyone who is trying to obtain an abortion in Texas. Now, this federal law is known as the FACE Act.
Recent reports have shown there's still a major disparity in equal pay between men and women, and the pandemic set women back in the workforce even further. A man was just transported by Life Squad to a local hospital about 15 minutes ago. He was outside this mobile. Well, James, Sasha, residents here in the neighborhood tell me they're used to hearing gunshots, but this was a terrifying experience. Mackenzie, talk about the best seat in the house. That is exactly where we are. We can see all the action. We're here at the Meyer Pavilion. We're about 15,000 people right at this point.
Every day, thousands of migrant women farm workers, not only in the United States, but right here in Ohio, are using overalls, long sleeves, hats, and bandanas to protect themselves to ward off any unwanted attention and potential sexual assault. Not only is Ruggs waking up in jail, he also just lost his job playing for the Las Vegas Raiders hours before he heads to court today. And the movie industry is banking on families hitting the theaters. This year is much more back to normal than it was last year. Our 13 ABC's Kayla Molander is live in Promenade Park in the middle of the action. Kayla, what's it looking like out there? Well, James, there have now been multiple water rescues from police and fire departments as they work to get people out of trapped cars in Alabama. Go ahead and take a look. Birmingham residents are sharing their stories right now on Twitter. It's your favorite time of the morning, and should I say the furriest? It's Weekend Pause. And joining us on Skype from Humane, Ohio is Laura Simmons-Ward. Good morning, Laura. My thoughts were, I'm still coming to work in the morning. I don't care if I win $700 million. work is work, and if you're passionate about what you do, you show up every day and you do it. So would you show up to work if you won Powerball? Let me know in the comments below. We've got some other famous birthdays. Can you guess any birthdays, Derek?
Oh, I'll take a stab at Ariana Grande, perhaps.
Ariana Grande!
Hey, just the
Derek,
the first celebrity I could think of.
you're just too cool for me.
So James, tell me, where else could you find a New York Reuben, a chef salad, a boneless chicken wings, and a gourmet half-pound burger? Well, none other than Gray's Shared Kitchen. And Brooke tells me a lot of those 2020 brides who postponed their wedding to 2021 but didn't keep planning, didn't keep that train going, are already behind. Who needs coffee when you can wake up like this?
Oh, yeah. Now go ahead and, yeah, like Statue of Liberty type of pose. Yeah, perfect. Here we go. I'll bring it down just a little bit. 3, 2, 1. You're good.
But the team here at 7 Little Cupcakes in Perrysburg has been working their mittens off to keep the cupcakes in the oven and the customers flowing. With me is owner Aaron Leidick. Hi.
With the weather heating up, it's only natural for homeowners to want to invest in lawn care. But I spoke with several landscape companies who said this year business has been off the charts like never before, with most seeing an increase of 30 to 40% in new customers from all that at-home time and desire for those well-manicured lawns and landscapes.
The increase in lawn care did kind of surprise me. I wasn't expecting it.
Rick Ramlow, owner of Reliable Lawn and Snow Removal in Maumee and Monclova, says after 5 years in business, his team saw a major increase in both new residential and commercial customers this year, requesting mulching, landscape design, hydro seeding, and yard installs.
As you're sitting in your backyard and you're looking around, you start to notice every nuance and imperfection.
Customer Scott Stigall had been putting off tackling the 40-plus trees in his backyard. But the slowdown this past year meant more time outside and a chance to take on the challenge.
Got to the point where we figured we needed some professional help to take care of the backyard.
And the landscape boom isn't just residential. Many businesses are taking advantage of this time, too.
We usually take a project or two a year, but we just said, well, with the pandemic, let's try to get multiple things done.
Todd Michelson says the pandemic allowed him to hire Yoder Brothers Lawn Services to completely revamp the 22-acre electric industry campus.
It's been unbelievable the amount of calls we've gotten for lawn care. We actually stopped picking up customers about a month ago, and still to this day we're getting 3 or 4 phone calls a day, it seems like.
But they're not complaining.
It's unbelievable the amount of increase we've seen this year.
The Yoder brothers had to hire on 6 new full-time employees just to keep up with the demand. They do say a potential problem in the industry is the rise in fuel prices, but they're determined not to raise their prices to accommodate their customers. Reporting from Maumee, Ashley.bornancin, 13 ABC, Action News.
Rise in food prices are astronomical right now.
This year, putting food on the table has gotten even pricier.
Because we're having such a large transportation issue with the rise in fuel.
And the average price at the pump nationwide, $3.41 a gallon. That's up $1.29 from last year.
So they're adding the cost on to the consumers when they go to purchase.
And when it comes to Thanksgiving dinner, families are spending just shy of $6 a person. That's 14% more this year than last, according to the Farm Bureau's 36th annual survey. And here in Toledo,
the cost per person right now for Thanksgiving is anywhere from $8 to $10, and that's based on what you choose to serve.
So the Grand Lodge Food Pantry is working hard to make sure no mouth goes unfed, feeding more than 150 families Thanksgiving dinner this year.
Doing the entire Thanksgiving meal with all of the trimmings. You'll have everything for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, and not just for Thanksgiving. It'll be enough food for you to have for multiple days.
And it doesn't stop at the yearly feast. You'll find them every 3rd Thursday of the month at the Toledo Police Patrolmen's Association, providing boxes of food for those in need.
I need the food, so I'm coming here. They're giving away free turkeys. I don't have the money to get it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hungry.
Toledo resident Keisha Payne says the food bank has saved her when times have gotten even more tough with the pandemic.
They really been a big help to my family and me, because without them, I don't know what I do.
And what she's looking forward to the most?
To eat. Thank God, to eat, see family, which we haven't saw in a long time because we haven't been able to be in one room. So thank God for that.
In Toledo, Ashley.bornancin, 13 ABC, Action News.
When it comes to sushi, presentation is just as important as quality. On this week's Dine in the 419, we take you to Kotobuki. Right on Monroe Street in Toledo, Kotobuki is home to high-quality fish and creative rolls that taste just as good as they look. Some of the famous ones, 007, 2 rolls in 1, and the baked firecracker. On the menu today, we're bringing out all of the colors of the rainbow in the kitchen with owner Dennis Chung.
The rainbow roll, it's all about variety, so it's gonna have 4 different kinds of fish on top of the California roll.
Well, let's get to it.
All right, I'll give you a sheet of seaweed. You grab about a baseball size amount of rice here.
It'll just stay.
Yeah, it stays. It's short grain rice, so it's naturally sticky.
This seems like such an art form.
It is. Okay, so we take cucumbers and we'll take our crab stick. Now we're ready to roll.
Literally.
I'm gonna squish it a little bit and shape it, and I'm gonna layer them on top. Then we boil them, peel them, ginger soak them, cut them, clean them. So each one of these pieces represents a lot of effort.
How important is presentation when it comes to sushi?
Oh, it's everything. It's assuming you have quality ingredients. It's really important. The last piece of fish we're gonna use is tuna. This is Tuna Saku, which is a block.
I don't think anyone has any idea how much effort and precision it takes to make sushi.
It takes a sharp knife and it takes a steady hand, and you have to know the textures of the fish and press the top all at the same time. Gently pull it off.
Let's hope it works.
Yeah, there you go, it works.
Mine looks almost as good as yours, Dennis.
It does, it's very good, you're hired.
So I'm gonna use my hands because you said I should.
Yes, it's traditionally finger food.
Okay, so I'm going for the firecracker.
How is it? You can see why it's popular.
I can see why it's popular.
It may not be the prettiest roll, but it's one of the most flavorful.
And the rolls are just as good on the go. Order in or carry out.
Thanks so much, Dennis. I'm Ashley.bornancin, and that's how you dine in the 419.